even required. Why you have to download? Because as per the Microsoft Teams rules, it will expire within 20 days. So after 20 days, you are not able to see to it, or you are not able to download it. Okay, so it is advisable that you download each sessions for your reference if you required it. Second thing, since this is online mode, so it is not possible to have interactive class as it is in the offline mode, but we will try our best to have the interactive class for this session. So for this purpose, I will ask you a question, or I will ask any question related to this topic going on in between the class. You have to respond to it, because if it is interactive, then only you will also enjoy the lecture, I will also enjoy the lecture. Second thing is, if you have any query at that stage, you can unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, you can ask it at the end of the lecture as well. I will respond to it. Okay, so these are certain instructions I would like to give you before starting. So now let me talk about this. So your syllabus is 4 credit course, right? And Engineering Mathematics 2 is the name of the subject, where code is MA 144, right? Which is consisting of 6 units, in which first 3 are divided as section 1. Rest of the 3 chapters are divided as section 2. Section 1 will be taken by Krunal sir, section 2 will be taken by myself, in which 3 chapters are there: matrix algebra, improper and multiple integrals, and probability and statistic. In matrix algebra, you have already gone through the matrices of certain kinds, special matrices, how to solve system of linear equations using matrices, and how to find out inverse of a matrix. All these things you have done in your first semester rather. In the second chapter, so in this chapter right now, we will see how to find out eigenvalues and eigenvectors, which will be having application in engineering field. Second thing, it will be Cayley-Hamilton theorem and LU decomposition as a subsection of this chapter. Then in the multiple integrals, we have to deal with the double and triple integrations, as well as when the integrals are actually not given on the finite domain, or function is indefinite, integrand is indefinite, then such integrals are called improper integrals. So that we'll see in detail in chapter 5. And sixth chapter is probability and statistic, which is prerequisites of this chapter you have already studied in your school level. So here we will see the different kinds of probabilities, precisely the conditional probability, Bayes theorem. Then we will see the distributions like binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, normal distributions, and all those things. Okay. So first we will start with the matrix algebra chapter. So these are the subsections of matrix algebra. So as I have said, first we will consider the revision of matrices and determinant. You have already studied. Then we'll see eigenvalues and eigenvectors, special matrices, eigenvalues and eigenvector, Cayley-Hamilton theorem and its application we will see. LU decomposition is the last subsection of this chapter. Okay, so now we have to consider the revision of matrices. So first of all, if you heard the word matrix, what you have understood, that let me know. I don't want precise definition, just give me the idea. What do you mean by a matrix?
Rows and column containing elements.
Rows and columns containing elements means if you have a bunch of numbers, if you have a set of numbers, then if you arrange it in the proper form, then such a term we will call it as matrix. Means it is an array. You people being computer science engineering people, you know the better meaning of the word array, right? right? So it is a rectangular array of any numbers, maybe real numbers, maybe complex numbers. So rectangular, as I say, means we will have, so in that case you can have this horizontal entries and vertical entries. Horizontal entries are called the rows, vertical entries are called the columns. Total number of rows are suppose m and total number of columns are suppose n, then this is called the order of the matrix m cross n. Usually matrices are denoted with the capital letters A, B, C and so on. So either you can use the square brackets or parenthesis, right? So these are the symbol of matrix. Rectangular array, because it is not necessarily always that m is equal to n, so that's why you will have of the form rectangle, so that's why it is rectangular array of any numbers are called the is called the matrix. Horizontal arrays are called the rows, vertical arrays are called the columns, right? So here we have the precise definition that rectangular array of number is called a matrix, and horizontal arrays of matrix are called rows, vertical arrays are called the columns. It is of order m cross n if matrix having m many rows and many columns. They are either denoted with the square brackets or with the parenthesis. So in general, suppose I consider the first element of a matrix, so it is at the intersection of first row and first column, so that is why the notation is a suffix 1 1. 1 means first row, this means first column. So when I consider this entry, it is first row, second column, so the notation is A1 2. In general, suppose n many number of columns we are given, so this is the element situated at the intersection of first row and nth column, so A1n. This is A21, A22 in general, A2n, and suppose m many number of rows are given, so AM1, AM2 and so on. The last element will be AMN. So these are the general notation of any matrix of order m cross n. You can write this as Aij, where I is running from 1 to m, j is running from 1 to n. So this is the general notation, right? So Aij means this element is situated at ith row and jth column. You can say it is at the intersection of ith row and jth column. This is the standard notations. Aij is the entry at the intersection of ith row and jth column, as I have said. So these are different notations. You can refer the different books, then these are the notations they have used, right? So for example, if I consider this matrix, which is of order
2 cross 3.
2 by
yes,
3.
there are 2 rows and 3 columns, so it is of order 2 cross 3, having A111, A123, A137, A214, A225, A23 as 6. Okay, so that is one example that you already know. Now we will talk about the spatial matrices. So in this spatial matrices, first of all, we can talk about the equality of a matrix. Means suppose two matrices are given. Suppose A is represented by Aij, it is of order m cross n. And suppose B is represented by Bij, suppose it is of order P cross Q. Then when do we say that these two matrices are equal? So for that, m has to be same as P, n has to be same as Q. This is n. Okay, yeah. So n has to be same as q. So first of all, order of these two matrices has to be same. Addition to that, for each element for all I and j, Aij has to be same as Bij. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then we can say two matrices are equal. So they must have same order, they must have each element equal, right? Then two matrices are said to be equal matrix. Next, suppose your matrix is consisting of only row, means first row is given, we don't know the number of columns, it may be any number. In general, if I write A1 and then such a matrix is called row matrix because there is only one row. Independent of number of columns, if there exists only one row at the in the matrix, then such a matrix is called row matrix. You can consider this as row vector as well because it is of the form vector, right? So some of the books use the word row vector. Similar to that, suppose only one column you are given, means likewise any number of rows but column is fixed, that is 1, then such a matrix is called column matrix or column vector, right? So here we have equality of a matrix. As I have said, they must have same order and corresponding entries are same, right? So row matrix, it is of this form, only one row, any number of columns. Similar to that, the definition of column matrix is only one column, any number of row is called column matrix. So this is what the example is. Then suppose your matrix is consisting of all the elements 0. For example, this one. Then it is called zero matrix. All the elements are 0, then matrix is called zero matrix. This is of order 2 cross 3. So notation for this one is big O, that is for 0. In this suffix, you can write the order of a matrix. So this is this one. For the square matrix, you can avoid writing suffix as 2 cross 2. That means if you just write O2, it will be understood that this is the zero matrix of order 2 cross 2. So in this square matrix, we will just write one suffix because in that case, rows and columns are same in number. So that is what the definition of zero matrix, that matrix in which each entry is 0, then it is called zero matrix. Some of the book use 0 symbol, some of the book use big O symbol. Okay. Then we have a square matrix, that number of rows is equal to number of columns, then such a matrices are called square matrices, right? So then when we talk about the square matrices, we will have the notion of diagonal. In the rectangle, there is no notion of diagonal element, you can see. But when we talk about the square matrix, we must have this diagonal elements. So here, if I consider 3 cross 3 matrix, so let me write this numbers first: A31, A32, A33. So you can see that if you observe this one where suffixes are same, then such a element are called diagonal elements. In general, it is of the form AII, right? So and this diagonal is called the principal diagonal of a square matrix, right? So in general, it is of the form A11, A22 and so on. Suppose it is n cross n matrix, then these elements are called the diagonal entries. So from this diagonal entries, we have a notion of diagonal matrix. So when do we say that a square matrix as a diagonal matrix? So in that case, we'll have definition. Right? A square matrix is said to be diagonal matrix if Aij is equal to 0 for I not equal to j. Okay, so what is the condition? Aij is equal to 0 whenever I is not equal to j. So suppose I say this is 3 cross 3 matrix where we have the elements where I is equal to j. So I is equal to j means they are principal diagonal elements. We are given the condition on the non-diagonal elements and they has to be 0, means A11 can any number, but rest of the 2 element in the first row has to be 0. A22 can be any number, A33 can be any number, but rest of the entries are 0 from this condition, then such a matrix is called diagonal matrix. Right? So for example, if I write 3006, is it a diagonal matrix?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
because except the principal diagonal, all entries are 0. Therefore, this is the diagonal matrix. What about O3?
No, it's not a diagonal matrix.
The O3 means it is 0, 0, 0. All the elements are 0. Right? How many of you are saying that it is a diagonal matrix? Please raise your hand. One, two. There are only 2 students, means by default I will understood that 41 students, 43 are present. So 41 students says that this is a non-diagonal element, non-diagonal matrix. Man, why are you saying that it is a diagonal matrix?
Ma'am, because it satisfies the condition that except diagonal elements, all other elements are 0.
Yes. If you see the definition of a diagonal matrix, we have put the condition over the non-diagonal entries. We have not put any condition over the diagonal elements. Means this numbers can be any number. We have not put any of the condition. So rest of the diagonal entries here in the 0 matrix, you can see all the entries are 0. Therefore, it satisfies the condition, and therefore 0 matrix is rather more specific. 0 matrix can be of any order, but square 0 matrix will be always a diagonal matrix. Right? Any one of you have any confusion regarding this one, then you can unmute yourself. If not, then I will move ahead. Okay, so suppose you are given a diagonal matrix having all diagonal entries 1. In general, suppose it is of order n cross n. तो all the diagonal matrix बोला है तो diagonal element के सिवा बाकी की सारी entries 0 हो जाएगी. Second condition is if all the diagonal elements are 1, then it is called identity matrix. Notation is IN. N stands for order of the matrix. Suppose this is of order n cross n. So this is this one. Means if I say I2, so you have to consider 2 cross 2 identity matrix with element 1, 0, 0, 1. So diagonal elements having all diagonal entries as 1, then it is called the identity matrix denoted by capital letter I. Right? Now, in the diagonal matrix, suppose all these entries are same. Diagonal entries are same, means A11, A22, A33 all are same, then such a matrix is called a scalar matrix. Why? So let me consider 3 cross 3 having diagonal element as k, that is a constant quantity. Some in the mathematics, constant quantity or real quantities are considered as a scalar. Okay, so suppose in the diagonal matrix all the diagonal elements are same, that is k, then I can write this matrix as k times identity matrix. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and therefore I have written it as scalar times identity matrix. Therefore, such a matrix are called scalar matrix. Right? So that is what. So in general, you can consider the example here 4004. 2000020002. So this can be written as 2I3, this can be written as 4I2. So such a matrices are called the scalar matrices. Next definition is upper triangular matrix. So what is the definition? First of all, a square matrix is said to be an upper triangular matrix if Aij is equal to 0 for I greater than j. Let me write Aij is equal to 0 for I greater than j. तो स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स बोला है तो लेट मी कंसीडर 3 क्रॉस 3 मैट्रिक्स. A31, A32, A33. Right? In this case, I is greater than j. So I is equal to j वाली कंडीशन यहाँ पर है ही नहीं, तो इतने एलिमेंट्स पे कोई कंडीशन नहीं है. Second thing, I greater than j. We have to choose I greater than j, means number row number has to be greater than j. So if I choose A12, will it be there in this criteria?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Because in this case, I is 1 and j is 2, 1 is not greater than 2. Therefore, A12 will not fall in this criteria. Similarly, A13 will not fall because 1 is not greater than 3. 2 is also not greater than 3, so this will not fall. But if you consider A21, I is 2, j is 1, so it has to be, it is falling in this criteria. And suppose this is 0. A31, that is 3 greater than 1, this is also 0, this is also 0, means you have a matrix with non-zero entries over here. I am not saying all the entries will be non-zero, but at least below the principal diagonal, you are having all these entries 0. So this is called upper triangular matrix, where you have put the condition of 0 element below the principal diagonal element, principal diagonal of a matrix. Similarly, you have a notion of lower triangular matrix as well. So tell me, what will be the definition of lower triangular matrix, or what will be the condition I have to put?
Ma'am, Aij equal to 0 for all Ai A and J such that J greater than I.
J greater than R, or I can use I is less than J. तो whenever I and Aij 0 हो जाएगा, जब I less than 0 होगा, तो उस केस में this one will be any element, but this one will be 0. Means you can say that in that case, triangular is formed at the lower part of the matrix, therefore such a matrices are called the lower triangular matrix. Here, these two are the definition. Now, in the square matrix, when you choose the diagonal elements, so in general, suppose n cross n square matrix you are given. So in that case, you choose the diagonal elements, means A11, A22, A33, and so on. The last diagonal elements will be A and N. If you consider the sum of all these elements, then it is termed as trace of A. Notation for it is TR of A. So square matrix में sum of the diagonal elements आप जब भी लोगे, then it is called the trace of A. So if I write here the matrix as 3, 5, 7, 4, E, 10, minus 1, 0, 0, 5, I, 6, 1, 2, minus 1, and last entry, let me choose as 6. So what will be trace of A in this case?
P plus E plus I plus 6.
Yeah, means it will be E plus I plus 3 plus 6, that is 9, right? So likewise you can have the answer. Square matrix में जो भी diagonal elements आते हैं, means in this case the principal diagonal is this one, and if you consider sum of all these elements, then it is termed as trace of a matrix, right? Okay. Suppose ये जो 3 क्रॉस 3 मैट्रिक्स लिखा है मैंने यहाँ पर, लेट मी इरेज दिस थिंग्स. इसका मैं अगर ध्यान रखना कौन सी एंट्रीज को मैं कैसे लिख रही हूँ, ऑब्जर्व करके मुझे बताना कि मैंने क्या किया यहाँ पर। What I have done?
Transpose of a matrix.
वेरी गुड। मीन्स एक्चुअल में प्रोसीजर में मैंने क्या किया, तो रोज जो है और कॉलम्स को आई हैव इंटरचेंज्ड, rows and columns I have interchanged, then such a matrix is called transpose of a matrix. It is denoted with A raised to T. T stands for transpose of a matrix. So once you know the transpose of a matrix, what will be the prediction of next definition? Suppose I write this condition. Suppose I write this condition, then what is it?
Symmetric matrix.
Yes, if you have a square matrix such that transpose of a matrix is same as given matrix, then such a matrix is called symmetric matrix, right? और next definition क्या हो सकती है तो फिर?
A is equals to minus A raised to T.
Yes, so
Q symmetric.
what is it? It is called, yes, it is called skew symmetric matrix. The condition is you must have A transpose is equal to minus A, or A transpose is this one. They both are same because you have just multiplied with the scalar quantity minus 1. So whenever this condition is satisfied, it is called skew symmetric matrix. So now I am writing over here certain matrices. You have to tell me which one is symmetric, which one is a skew symmetric. Okay. So A is equal to 3, 7, 7, 2. B I will write it as 3I, 7I, I minus 1, 6, 7I, 6 minus 5. Okay. Alignment I have to write it in a proper manner. C I can consider 0, minus 7, 7, 0, and D 0, minus I, 7I, then we'll have I 0, minus 6, minus 7I, 6 and 0. Tell me the nature of ABCD.
AB is symmetric, CD is Q symmetric.
Okay, what about D?
D is Q symmetric.
Very good, that is the correct one. Let us see one by one. How many of you are getting this? AB symmetric matrices and CD are skew symmetric matrices. Please raise your hand. You are still computing? Okay, fine. So let us see here. If I consider A transpose, this is 3, 7, 7, 2, which is same as A. Therefore, this is symmetric. If I write B transpose, then it is, I have to write row as column. So 3I, 7I, second row I minus 1, 6, 7I, 6 and minus 5, which is same as B as well. So B is also symmetric matrix. Whereas if I write C transpose, then this is 0, minus 7, 7, 0, which I can write it as 0, minus 7. I have taken minus sign common, right? So it will be 7, 0. So if you see, this is same as C. So C transpose is equal to minus C, therefore C is skew symmetric matrix. Whereas if I consider D transpose, then 0 minus I, 7I, I 0 minus 6 minus 7I, 6 and 0. Then they are not equal, but if I consider minus 1 common, then this is 0 minus I, 7I, 0 minus 6 minus 7I, 6 and 0. So you can see that this matrix is same as matrix D. Therefore, this is minus D. Therefore, D is also a skew symmetric matrix. So after observing skew symmetric matrices, have you observed any characteristic regarding this skew symmetric matrix?
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat?
The question is, after seeing these two examples of a skew symmetric matrix, have you observed any common characteristic for skew symmetric matrices?
Yes, ma'am. The scalar quantity is -1.
Yeah, it is by default in the definition that scalar quantity is -1. Another thing, have you observed?
Diagonal elements should be 0.
Diagonal elements are 0.
Yes, you can see this. This is skew symmetric matrix. Diagonal elements are 0. Why this is happening? Why this is happening? Let us see. For skew symmetric matrix, we have a condition that A is same as minus A transpose. So if A is of the form Aij, what will be the form of A transpose? Aji, right? Because columns will be converted into the rows and rows will be converted into the columns. So in that case, if I talk about all I and j, what this condition will give me? So it will give me Aij is equal to minus Aji. राइट जो भी एलिमेंट है वो एक तो इंटरचेंज हो जा रहा है रो एंड कॉलम वाइज में एज वेल एज इट विल बी द नेगेशन ऑफ द ओरिजिनल एंट्री मींस Aij is equal to Aji. This is true for all I and j. Means it will be true for all I whenever it is same as j. Means in that case Ai is equal to minus Aii. जो डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स आप लोगे तो उसके ऊपर ये कंडीशन हो जाएगी. Means for all I 2Aii is equal to 0 implies for all I, Aii is 0. And therefore, in this skew symmetric matrix, you will always have the diagonal entries as 0. That is what the one observation. So, you have studied one chapter logic at your school level, that suppose P and Q are given statements such that P implies Q, then negation of Q will imply negation of P. Means in this case, if I consider P statement as A is skew symmetric matrix and Q as diagonal elements are 0, then negation of Q means if one of the diagonal element is not 0, then negation of Q will imply means A will not be a skew symmetric matrix. Right? So whenever you are asked to check whether the given matrix is a skew symmetric or not, if one of the entry is non-zero as a diagonal entry, then you can directly say without computing that that matrix cannot be a skew symmetric matrix, because skew symmetric matrix होता तो हर एक diagonal entry जो है that has to be 0, right? So that is what the symmetric matrices and skew symmetric matrices. Now next we have a notion of transposed conjugate. Have you come across this notation anywhere? Have you come across this notation anywhere? Please say yes or no.
No, ma'am.
No.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Fine.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let me consider this. सिमेट्रिक मैट्रिक्स में आपने क्या किया कि पहले ट्रांसपोज लिया. A is a given matrix. Suppose A is a given matrix. You consider first is its transpose, then consider its conjugate. Conjugate means if I have a complex number Z of the form A plus IB, then Z conjugate will be what?
A minus IB.
Yes, it is A minus IB. Means wherever you have an imaginary part, that part you have to change the opposite. You have to consider the opposite sign, or you have to change the sign. That is what the conjugate means. So whenever we have a complex entries in the matrix, at that time first you consider the transpose and then consider the conjugate entries of all the elements of matrix. Then it is called transpose conjugate of a matrix, and it is denoted with A raised to theta. You can consider conjugate first and then transpose, means these two operations are commutative. Either of them you can consider first and another one as second one. तो पहले ट्रांसपोज लो फिर कॉन्जुगेट लो, और पहले कॉन्जुगेट लो फिर ट्रांसपोज लो, देयर विल नॉट मेक एनी डिफरेंस. सो right, so that is what transpose conjugate of a matrix. Now similar to this we have a notion, similar to symmetric matrices, we have a notion that whenever A raised to theta is same as A, then such a matrix is called Hermitian matrix. And when A is same as minus A raised to theta, or A raised to theta is minus A, then it is called skew Hermitian matrix. तो let us understand this via example. ओके तो पहले मैं आप लोगों को एक मैट्रिक्स देती हूँ A, उसका आपको ट्रांसपोज कॉन्जुगेट फाइंड आउट करना है. ओके तो मैट्रिक्स आई विल गिव यू एज 3 plus 2i, 5 plus 4i, 5, 2 minus I, 3 minus 2i, 5 minus 9i, then it is 8, 1 minus I, and 2 plus 4i. What will be A raised to theta? Compute it and tell me your answer. Notes will be provided to you, right? PDF of a unit after completion of the unit, but it is advisable whenever we consider the examples, you should write it with me so that you can have the idea, ताकि पूरे blank ना रहो आप लोग. नहीं तो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में ये होगा कि पूरा यूनिट खत्म हो जाएगा but you learn nothing. So it is advisable कि एक नोटबुक रखो अपने साथ, जब भी हम एग्जाम्पल्स करें तो उसका सॉल्यूशन आप मेरे साथ ही लिखते जाना, तो आप लोगों को बेटर आइडिया मिलेगा टॉपिक वाइज, राइट. एंड आई एम पोस्टिंग माय ईमेल आईडी हियर. जब भी आपको कोई कन्वर्सेशन करना है तो इसी मेल पे करना. दिस इज चारू सेट गूगल अकाउंट एक्चुअली. डोंट कंसिडर दिस माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट आउटलुक आईडी, ओके, बिकॉज माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स हम जब भी ये एक लेक्चर लेते हैं तभी ओपन करते हैं, अदरवाइज वी आर नॉट यूजिंग एट ऑल दोज मेल. ऑफिशियली मेल आईडी इज दिस वन विच इज गूगल अकाउंट ऑफ चारू सेट. Fine. So have you computed A raised to theta? Anyone? पहले तो आपको उसका ए ट्रांसपोज लेना पड़ेगा, तो ए ट्रांसपोज क्या हो जाएगा, लेट मी कंसीडर, implies A transpose is equal to, ट्रांसपोज जब भी लोगे तो ये हो जाएगा 3 plus 2i, 5 plus 4i, 5 as it is रहेगा, 2 minus i, 3 minus 2i, 5 minus 9i, then it is 8, 1 minus i, 2 plus 4i. ये जो आप यूजुअल प्रोसीजर करते हो ट्रांसपोज लेने में, वही मैंने किया है. नाउ a रेस टू थीटा मीन्स a ट्रांसपोज जो आपने लिया है उसका कॉन्जुगेट, मीन्स हर एक एलिमेंट का कॉन्जुगेट आई हैव टू कंसीडर. मीन्स इन दिस केस 2 plus 3 plus 2i का कॉन्जुगेट 3 minus 2i, 2 plus i, 8 being a real entry, there is a conjugate of real entry as itself, so 8 will remain same. Then 5 plus 4i will be 5 minus 4i as a conjugate, 3 minus 2i conjugate is 3 plus 2i, 1 plus i for 1 minus i, 5 will remain same, 5 plus 9i, and last one is 2 minus 4i. So this is called the transpose conjugate of a matrix. I hope that from this example you have a clear-cut idea about the transpose conjugate. So now I am writing two matrices over here. You have to check which one is Hermitian, which one is Q-Hermitian, right? So first matrix is 2, 3 plus i, 1 minus i, 3 minus i, 0, 3 plus 6i, 1 plus i, 3 minus 6i, and 8. Okay, let me check the entries once again. Yeah, it is correct. And second one is I, 2 plus 7i, 2 minus 7i, and 0. हर्मिशन और स्क्यू हर्मिशन चेक करना है तो आपको a रेस टू थीटा एंड b रेस टू थीटा फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा. उसके बाद इफ इट इज सेम एज a then it is Hermitian, if it is same as minus a then it is Q Hermitian. Check it and let me know. Shiv, Shivangi and Maz has raised their hand, means you are done. Yes, sir. Okay, so what you are getting? A as Hermitian. And what about B?
Skew Hermitian.
Skew Hermitian. Okay. Is there anyone who is saying that B is not a skew Hermitian or B is Hermitian? No. Let us check. So now I will not separately do the calculation for transpose and then conjugate. Simultaneously I will apply both the operations over here. So first I will write this row column wise and simultaneously I will consider the conjugates as well. So first being real entry, there is no conjugate of it. Then here I should write 3 plus i as a transpose and conjugate of it will be 3 minus i. Then this one 1 plus i. Now second row column wise with the conjugate, so it is 3 plus i, 0, 3 minus 6i, then it is 1 minus i, the last row as last column, 3 plus 6i as a conjugate, and 8. If you observe these entries, 2, 3 minus i, 1 plus i, 3 plus i, 0, 3 minus 6i, 1 minus i. So all these entries are same. Therefore, I can write A is same as A raised to theta. Therefore, this A is Hermitian matrix. Right? Let us check for B. Conjugate of I minus I. 2 minus 7i conjugate is 2 plus 7i. Conjugate of 2 plus 7i as 2 minus 7i and 0 will remain same. You can say that I is not equal to minus I, therefore they are not equal, therefore B is not a Hermitian matrix. Let us check whether it is Q Hermitian or not. So for that I will consider negative sign common. If it is Q Hermitian, then this matrix will be same as B. Let us check. If I consider minus sign common, then this is I. This one will be minus 2 plus 7i. This one will be minus 2 minus 7i, and this one will be 0. Can I write it as minus b?
No.
No, ma'am.
No. You can see minus sign तो already है, लेकिन 2 plus 7i is not equal to minus 2 minus 7i, as well as 2 minus 7i is not equal to minus 2 plus 7i. Therefore this is not there. Therefore B is neither Hermitian nor skew Hermitian matrix. Okay, so you have to be very careful while considering scalar quantity as a common for matrices, because for matrices it is not that you have to consider minus sign only from the row or column. That is for the determinant. For the determinant, if you consider a negative sign, then it is for the row or for the column. Whereas in the matrices, you have to consider the multiplication of a scalar with each and every element of the matrix. Okay, so that is what the definitions of Hermitian and skew Hermitian matrices. That means here it is that Aij is same as conjugate of Aj, right? A is equal to A raised to theta and A is equal to minus A raised to theta, then it is called the skew Hermitian matrix. Okay. So with this, I will say that I will stop here. If you don't have a doubt, you can leave this meeting. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.